So the teams are out to a quite extraordinary welcome. The 1997 Silk Cup Challenge Cup final, Bradford against St Helens. Let's bring in our full commentary team. Joe Lydon and Steve Sims are alongside Ray French.
They say the sequel never equals the original, but somehow I feel this repeat final could be even better than last year. The two leading teams in rugby league, the Bulls unbeaten and in number 1 position. St Helens loses only once in number 2 position. The majority of those players experience from last year. The same atmosphere, yet they can all still be unnerved. Sean McRae, the Saints Australian coach, wondered what all the fuss was about before he arrived here 12 months ago. He knows now, as does Bobby Goulding, St Helens skipper. Both teams lining up there, awaiting the presentation to John Prescott, the newly elected Deputy Prime Minister, Sir Rodney Walker, the Chairman of the Rugby Football League, Jerry Mason, the President, Maurice Linton, the Chief Executive, and Mr Nigel Northridge, the Sales and Marketing Director of Gallagher Limited. Ready to step on that famous Wembley turf, the like of which I don't think I've seen in such good condition before. Eric Ashton, the Chairman, 11 times on Cup final duty. He's led teams from the tunnel, twice as chairman, 9 times as a captain and a coach. And Sean McRae, a return to Wembley. Bobby Goulding, 3 winners' medals. Steve Prescott, Danny Arnold and Andy Haig brought in this morning for the injured Alan Hunt, Paul Newlove, Anthony Sullivan. Tommy Martin been in excellent form this season. The front row, Perolini, Cunningham and O'Neill. Carl Hammond, so influential at loose forward. Ian Pickavance, the super sub as he's known in St Helens. And the big, powerful Western Samoan via Matautia, Andy Northey and Derek McVie, the Aussie from Balmain. And many of those ears were sold in St Helens this week. The St Bernard Musketeers that youngster was wearing. And on to Chris Casely, for 8 years the chairman of Bradford Bulls. Matthew Elliott sat on the sidelines as assistant coach last year, here on centre stage. Tomlinson, Paul Medley, another of the substitutes now used so widely, who come off the bench with dramatic impact. Bernard Dwyer, Matt Callan, Sonny Nicol. Very powerful, very big side. None bigger there than Abiy Ikoku, the wingman and substitute. James Lowes, Danny Peacock, a new one from the Queensland Crushers this year. Stuart Spruce and Robbie Paul, the hat-trick hero of last year. Stuart Cummings from Widnes, reserve referee Russell Smith, and touch judges Jim Molyneux and Paul Hewitt, and in-goal judges Bill Blunden and Frank Hawley. Huge 78,000 crowd anticipating this match, but first they'll be asked to be upstanding for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.
The huge roar that traditionally greets the kick-off from this huge 78,000 crowd. Bradford in Stuart Spruce, Paul Loughlin and Graham Bradley have some of the biggest backs in rugby league football. And up front in McDermott and Nicol, they hit the 17-stone mark there as well. Saints have size and strength in Perolini, joint to Matt V, but behind they'll rely on the pace of Prescott, Sullivan, Newlove and company in an effort to retain the cup. And from that bench, look for the likes of Bradford's Paul Medley and Saints Pickavant, injecting pace when their colleagues are tiring. Bradford have scored over 158 points on that road to Wembley, and Lachlan grabbed a try in all 4 rounds. And high scoring too from St Helens, just 4 points less. The most memorable win, that 12-man defeat of Wigan. 2 semi-finals and final in the last 5 years, yet Bradford still hunting for the trophy that has eluded them for 48 years. No shortage of Wembley experience in the St Helens camp, however. The 4th Wembley in 9 years. Bobby Goulding, the inspiration in that final frenetic 20 minutes last season when he put those 3 high kicks in that cost Bradford Bulls the cup. Just having a word with Apollo Perolini and Robbie Paul there, just practicing taking 1 or 2 of the high balls. Voted the man of the match in last year's final, but a loser, and he wants to come back here a winner, at his best in a broken field. Goulding at his best when he's organising behind the pack and putting those defence-splitting passes out wide. He'll be looking for the second-row runners to be coming off him. Stuart Cummings in charge of last season's cup final and maintains a tradition of Witness Society referees George Phillips, Mick Norton, Robin Whitfield and Ronnie Campbell all having their say in Wembley history. Just waiting for the toss-up, and I don't think players realise how nervous a referee and his 2 officials can get, but they do. We tend to take them for granted. Bobby Goulding just, I think, looking at the breeze, a slight breeze which has got up here this afternoon. Very, very warm this morning, but a little cooler now. That would be better, I think, for the players. Robbie Paul, this time last weekend, was playing for New Zealand in a test match against Australia, but there was no missing this Wembley final. Just sorting out as to which end that they will play. The best of mates off the field, these 2, and yet on the field they'll fight like a pair of terriers around the scrum. St Helens then to play from the right of our screen. Bradford looking to kick off. Steve McNamara, cup time last year. Carl Hammond, the loose forward in opposition. Brian McDermott, complete with new haircut, and a lot of pressure on that youngster. Andy Haig at number 18. 100 years since the cup kicked off at Headingley. The game's top 2 teams contest the centenary Silk Cup Challenge Cup final. Bradford v St Helens. Rugby League couldn't have planned it better, Steve.
Oh, it's a fantastic day. The crowd's electric, and both teams are ready for this one. A replay of last year.
Certainly is a replay of last year, but history counts for nothing on cup final day. Doesn't matter how many times you've won or been beaten, it can be different. St Helens just driving in, using the forwards. Chris Joyce, the vice-captain, to Martin. Good long ball to Anthony Sullivan. He's trying to get round Nicole Coote. Good tackle there. Martin. A good early touch of the ball. Joe's an ex-fullback. A good early touch for the fullback.
Both teams have started very, very well, very steady. In St Helens' case, they used the full complement of 6 tackles before placing a kick in. But Bradford coming up with a mistake, and it's St Helens' chance again.
And a chance here down that far side. Arnold going for the corner, but good tackle. Oh, and he's pulled into touch. Arnold protesting to the referee. He reckoned the tackle was made and that he was pulled into touch, but not so, said Mr. Cummings.
Danny Arnold tried to get free, but was hauled back and over in the touchline. But it was a forward pass, I believe, beforehand. The scrum, however, has been given.
I think Abby Akoka was a bit unlucky there. I think there was 2 in the tackle when the ball was stolen off him.
Bradford, 4 times winners of the trophy. And offside.
Big responsible for Paul Loughlin here. Ex-St Helens player playing in the centre today for Bradford. The kicking duties, he has played everywhere in the back line, including standoff and on the wing.
Bradford then in possession now, driving it. Oh, a crunching tackle there on Rihanna. McDermott looking to bring the forwards and the backs through, and Robbie Paul being well looked after there. McDermott. As usual, we have Richard Duckingfield down there on the benches here at Wembley. What news, Nick?
Well, good news for the players, I suppose, Ray. The temperature here just before the kick-off was 78 Fahrenheit, but there's been a perceptible drop in temperature in the last few minutes. There's also a breeze that's sprung up, which is favouring Bradford Northern at the moment. So it's a lot cooler than it was a few moments ago.
And that's a good high kick from McNamara. Arnold's underneath it. Oh, Bradford are there! He's not touched it down. It's a knock-on. Stuart Spruce thought there was glory there after almost 3 minutes, but not so, says Mr. Cummings. A knock-on, he says. Well, debatable.
Spruce climbed high. It's just a case of whether he gathered that ball before it hit the floor, and I don't think he did, Steve.
I think you'll see on this angle, it just hit the ground before he regathered it. Up he goes, Spruce, knocked forward, hits the ground. Good decision from the referee.
Certainly was a good decision from the referee, just hitting the ground before the Stuart Spruce could touch it down with a downward pressure, but the pressure on St Helens, the cup holders. Bradford Bulls piling the pressure on here now. Matthew Elliott, their coach, being in charge at Oxon less than 9 months. Derek McVeigh looking to slip that ball away. Oh, a powerful run there from the big Aussie. He hasn't played for 6 weeks, something of a gamble by the coach McRae.
It may be a gamble, but that's exactly why he's on. He likes to get out wide, run in at the backs, and he's also got the ability to offload the ball.
Paul Cook. Good pass. To Spruce. But good defenders there from St Helens. Paulo Perolini and Sullivan. McNamara already into this game very, very quickly. Number 26 there, look out for his sleight of hand passing. Bradley taking a dive there and interference at the play of the ball. Referee Mr. Cummings, he wants a word with a St Helens player. Just telling Bobby Goulding to keep quiet. There we see Joint holding him down, just delaying the play of the ball of action in order to allow St Helens defence to get back. Goulding, often yapping, caught out. Kiwi, who started out with the Perth Western Reds last season before coming to Oxon, and McNamara switching play again. Paul again. Good, strong, barking run there from former St Helens forward Sonny Nicol, number 13, in the second row though. Dwyer, another St Helens ex-forward. James Lowes. Rihanna again, this time to Bradley. Bradford using these 16, 17 stone men, driving at the heart of this St Helens defence. Robbie Paul, nice little chip kick. Oh, almost picked up by Sullivan, not quite. Oh, a chance gone begging there for Bradford. Peacock put the ball down, but I think it'll be the first knock-on.
You see here Anthony Sullivan, he knocks on first. Now it's advantage to Bradford. Bradford knock on, St Helens will get the feed.
Yes, Mr Cummins taking the first knock on there. There we see it. No real advantage, but there's an advantage now to Bradford. Oh, he's knocked on. Not the best of passes, but a knock on.
This is the first clean cut chance for Bradford Bulls. If Sonny Little had have gathered that ball, I'm sure there would have been a try on.
Anthony Sullivan doesn't look too good, taking a knock. St Helens, 14 appearances in the cup final, the holders, 6 times winners. But already in these early stages, the Bradford Bulls putting a clamp on the movie. McVie very, very keen to get into this side. He was cup-tied last season, the big Aussie forward. Goulding to Joint. Paul his first touch of the ball. Former Bradford, well, that was a little ankle tap against Ikoku. Rugby League referees trying to stamp out all this gamesmanship and the play of the ball.
Ikoku, Nittle and Peacock guilty here of just holding down Paul Newlove, trying to slow down the play of the ball.
Yeah, Abby Ikoku was pulling the leg of the man playing the ball then.
And St Helens are rather worried about Anthony Sullivan, who took a knock a few moments ago. The physiotherapist Jeanette Smith is talking to the assistant coach Mike Gregory on the bench. Vila Matautia will be ready to come on if Anthony Sullivan can't continue. They'll be looking to see if Anthony Sullivan can just run it off, really.
This will be a penalty for holding the ball in the tackle, not allowing St Helens to play the ball.
The armed forces listening in Cyprus, who let me know that they were St Helens supporters, will be pleased to see them on attack here now, as Goulding now moves it across from right to left. Joint again. Bradford's first taste on defence. Goulding to Helens driving forward, 5 metres now from that line. Well, I think he would have been better advised to pass out there, Cunningham. McVie was coming for the ball, but here's a chance again. Goulding, delicate little rubber kick. Oh, there's a shot of a try! And Tommy Martin is in! Beautifully placed there by Goulding. Delicately placed. Tommy Martin read the situation. Mr Cummins is checking with the in-goal touch judge. The fans are delighted. They're saying it's a try. Martin thinks it's a try, but Mr Cummins is still chatting with the touch judge there. And Paul Hewitt says it was a try.
This is a beautifully weighted kick from Bobby Goulding through for Tommy Martin. He was very quick to get there. We couldn't see from that angle whether it was offside or not, but it was certainly a planned move.
The clever part about this play was it wasn't the last tackle. Bobby thought Bradford come up early too quick and thought he'd put the kick in behind play. Tommy Martin read it good. Whether he got the ball down or not, I don't know, but it's been awarded and it's 4 points to St Helens.
Well, the try has been awarded. Discussion between the touch judge, Mr Hewitt, and Mr Cummins. The key to any try being scored is that downward pressure must be exerted with the hand, or the ball must be covered with that part of the body above the waist and below the neck. But whatever, it's 4 points on the scoreboard. And Goulding looking to make it into 6. Oh, he hits the upright. And Goulding just wonders, what did I do wrong? Anthony Sullivan had treatment for an eye injury already. We can see the cut and the bruising underneath that left eye, but he'll not be too bothered with a scoreline like that. 4 points to 0 for the Saints.
Any doubts I had whether Tommy Martin was onside were answered by the other angle shown earlier. Tommy Martin was definitely onside, and I think he got downward pressure as well.
surprising this stage of the game. Both teams are attacking. St Helens are attacking on their left-hand side and Bradford attacking on their right-hand side. So all the play has been on this side of the field.
And I think the interesting aspect there, Steve, was that kick was not produced on the final tackle.
No, that's what I said earlier. It was smart play by Bobby Goulding. He knew Bradford were coming up very quick, and there's one way to stop defences coming up quick, and that's keep putting little kicks behind their defensive line.
Still plenty of time to go. Usually high-scoring matches between these two sides, and here we have Bradford in attack. Sonny Nicol, he's got Danny Peacock racing to the corner. Prescott can't take him. Oh, and Peacock goes in at the corner. Prescott, the St Helens fullback, was across there, but he hadn't got that upper body strength to pull the big man down. And Danny Peacock, the former Queensland Crushers player, hits back for the Bulls at the corner. I said matches between these two are high scoring. This could well be.
Beautiful ball from McNamara around the back of the player. Sonny Nicol striding out the big second row forward, goes towards the touchline looking for support, and there's Peacock. I thought he'd give the ball a little bit early, but Peacock managed to shrug off Prescott and score a great try for Bradford, and they're back in the game.
Yeah, as I said before, Bradford are attacking down their left-hand side. Sonny Nicol must have felt it very sweet to make a big bust against his old club. And Danny Peacock, he's too strong for Prescott. And Bradford are right back in this game. It's all even.
Steve McNamara with the kick. His kicking really blossomed since his transfer from Hull to Bradford. Former Skirlow amateur player, but a difficult one. Strikes it across the face of those posts. So, the kick missed by Goulding, the kick missed by McNamara, but the tries from Peacock and Martin, that is what counts. 4 apiece.
The pass from Sonny Nicol there wide to Peacock. The centre gets on the outside of Prescott and scores a try to bring Bradford Bulls back in the game. I had my doubts whether this game could match last year's intensity, but what a great start from both teams.
We've talked to Steve all season when we've had Bradford Bulls on the box about the sheer physical strength and size of this team, and we saw that, didn't we, there with Nicol and Peacock striding through.
They're all big men. They've been on the weights in the off-season. They've put on plenty of bulk, and that's the way they like to play. They play a power game.
Carl Hammond. Derek McVie will often find him hanging down that right-hand side there. Kieran Cunningham likes to come away from the acting half-back. Bound to be a big tussle between him and the Bulls hooker, James Lowes. Martin again, pushing Spruce back. He'll let that roll into touch and gratefully accept the head and ball at the scrum.
It's intriguing tussle, Ray. The game plan of both teams, to watch it unfold on the field. The way that I'm sure St Helens will attack the Cuckoo on this right-hand wing, and the struggle that's going on in the forwards as well. It's totally intriguing. Territorial advantage there. Bradford just pipping it at 53%. But the most important thing is the scoreboard, which says 4-all.
Certainly does, as Robbie Paul tries to get Bradford going down that left wing. Good tackle and the ball rolled loose. Well, Mr. Cummings judging that the ball was ripped out in the tackle.
You'll have a look. Stuart Spruce here. Andy Hayes on the bottom. Yeah, he pulled the ball out there. You couldn't see from that angle. It's actually Derek McVie that pulled the ball out.
You can steal the ball on a one-to-one, but there were 2 players down there from St Helens, and that is not allowed. Bradford to Paul. Notice Robbie Paul coming time and time again, running off Steve McNamara's longer passes. Lowes now. Good anticipation there by Anthony Sullivan. Coming in, spotting the danger. Lowes to Bradley. He was looking for McDermott, didn't find him. O'Loughlin. Rayana. Bradford use this strong Kiwi to charge away from the first receiver, and they use this man to put kicks in like that. A superb effort. Prescott's there. Well taken by the St Helens fullback. Never took his eye off the ball. That was class.
Great take by Prescott, that will do his confidence no end of good.
Yeah, the ball was meant for young Arnold, who made a mess of the first high kick, but Prescott got over there and covered it well.
Clouding over a little here at Wembley. The intense heat of this morning, not quite what it was, and a slight little breeze just getting up. That will suit these players. And a high tackle there against Bernard Dwyer. A lot of rivalry between these former St Helens players. There we see Dwyer going in. Over the shoulder on Julian O'Neill.
Yeah, this is from an ex-St Helens player to a new St Helens player, and it was a little bit high.
What a welcome.
Goulding, Martin, Chris Joints. Cunningham and Goulding again at the heart of things. Goulding running across, switching inside to Newlove. They do that regularly in this St Helens team. He's a powerful lad, is Newlove. Saints now with the pressure to Anthony Sullivan. It's a one-to-one. Well, he tried to sell a dummy to the touch judge. It didn't work. Chris Joints and the last tackle. Looking for another kick from Goulding. A little grubber kick again. Didn't work this time. Perhaps Bobby might have been better advised, Steve, with a high one to the post that time.
Bradford put a lot of pressure on him. He didn't have the opportunity.
James Lowe's looking for support there. He finds Robbie Paul, who runs into Parolini. McDermott. To Dwyer. The hard men just chesting each other out here around the ruck. Oh, brilliant sidestepping up from Robbie Paul. Good tackle there from Prescott. Prescott weighed him up. Never took his eyes off him. But still, Bradford coming down. Paul Loughlin there. Paul. McNamara. Looks to try to put that pass around the man. It can be dangerous when he gets that ball away. Bradley, Graham Bradley. Strong Aussie. To Nickel. Little chip kick from Nickel. Oh, it's still loose. Saints have picked it up. Prescott to the rescue. And it'll be 6 tackles.
The big problem St Helens are having at the moment is that they're allowing Bradford to stand in tackles and offload. You've seen Bradley do it then, you see Bernard Dwyer do it earlier on, and St Helens will have to stop them from offloading.
I totally agree, and they look so confident.
Oh, and there's an interception! And Bradford are in with Paul Loughlin. It was a risky pass. Paul Loughlin was hanging around the ex-St Helens centre. Over 2,000 points in St Helens jersey, and here he puts 4 past them. Paul Loughlin, 8-4 for the Bulls. He didn't need his size and strength here, he just needed his instinct. There he goes, and he picks it up.
Hammond, when you've got arms the length of Paul Loughlin there, loitering in the centre, defending the try line's hard enough, but when you give passes away to people like Paul Loughlin, he's going to score every chance you give him.
He was under pressure all the time there, Carl Hammond. He was being tackled, he was falling to the ground, he still tried to pass. He knew Loughlin was there but couldn't do anything about it because he'd already made his mind up to pass the ball. In that area of the field, you need good ball control.
Steve McNamara with his second attempted conversion, this time from an easier position. And this time, the 2 points. Well struck by the loose forward. And Bradford Bulls unbeaten this season. And thanks to Paul Loughlin there, in the lead, 10-4.
St Helens have been under pressure constantly from Bradford the last couple of minutes, and then when they received the ball, they gave it straight back to the Bradford player, this time in Paul Loughlin, who has an easy run in the line.
Paul Loughlin, of course, 4 losers' medals here, so if ever a man does deserve a winner's medal, it is that big Bulls at centre.
And St Helens have been warming up all 4 of their substitutes, but the concern on the St Helens bench is that the performance is too often slipshod and they're not making enough of their first tackles stick. First time tackles need to stick, and Bradford just making too much progress with their share of the tackles.
A little bit on them tackles, they're slipping out of tackles. It may have something to do, as we spoke about before, about the Bradford jumpers that are actually skin tight and very hard to grab hold of.
I also believe it's the confidence that Bradford have. The Bulls are running at St Helens knowing they can offload in the tackle or burst the tackle.
St Helens, though, on the attack now. We certainly get excitement whenever these two sides play. It's Tommy Martin to Hammond. Short pass. Oh, it's a chance of possibility of an interception there, but no! St Helens, Hammond eluded it. Play on, back to 1. Derek McVie doing very well there. Well, he's dropped the ball.
It was a bad play, the ball from Derek McVie. Then he got up really slow. It was a sloppy play, the ball. Then Carl Hammond, he lost the ball from dummy half.
Paul Newland putting Stuart Spruce down very, very hard. Oh, and it's this man Peacock almost getting away. My word, Chris Joint did well to hang on to his shorts there. The Bradford Bulls wear these special jerseys which are so tight to the chest that they can't be held, but the shorts can. Ryan McDermott. Robbie Paul taking a quick play the ball, causing further pressure. Paul going away. Well tackled there by Tommy Martin. But still this Bradford machine moving forward. A little bit too much pressure there on the kick.
Robbie Paul Ray has got to be one of the most exciting, elusive runners in the game today. Every time he gets the ball and runs at the defence, there's a chance of him breaking it.
Steve McNamara, the idea was great here. It was a little bit too hard. He had a lot of Bradford players coming through. If the kick was the right weight, I think there may have been a chance of scoring, Bradford.
And there's Tahir Rehana of Bradford on the bench getting some treatment. He's got a rather nasty cut in the scalp, blood pouring down the back of his neck, but not too great damage. He's been looked at by the doctor. He should be back available to come back in soon.
Certainly will, and here's now Paul Newland looking to set up a St Helens attack. St Helens need to keep hold of this ball on those 5 tackles, then put the kicks in. Oh, Prescott's chasing with it. It's a dash here. Oh, just flicked away there from Prescott to reach by Ami Ikoku. Good covering there by the former Halifax and Blackheath player. Just look at Ikoku get back here, Joe.
Abby had to do very, very well. He just pushed the foot out and stopped Prescott from getting his hand to the ball and probably a try.
Newland also having treatment. A bit of an ankle strain, I think. Pedalini charging away for the first time. Good pass, but good covering again from Bernard Dwyer. St Helens, 10 metres now. Another 3 tackles remaining in this sequence. Goulding wants a part of the action. To Martin. To Newland again. Can't get away from Peacock, but the ball still moving. Back to Goulding. This is good rugby from St Helens. Arnold's there, puts it behind him. But a knock-on, says Mr. Cummings. Danny Arnold wanting the judgment to give that the ball was given backwards, but it wasn't. And McNamara on hand there.
That was a type of kick that, Ray, you mentioned before, the crossfield kick with height, and it nearly paid off. It was an excellently weighted and placed kick.
I think the big difference in the two teams at the moment is that Bradford are playing the ball much faster than St Helens. You've seen a couple of times in their 22 there. St Helens, they were very slow playing the ball.
And it does make all the difference if you can get a roll on, as we call it, where you play the ball fast and let the forwards run at the defence, you can make 10 yards very, very quickly.
Stuart Spruce charging in from full-back. Another of these 15-stone bulls. Sonny Nicol having a good game up front, doing all the hard work, testing the defence of his former side. Paul Medley, but he loses the ball. Picked up well by Anthony Sullivan. Oh, they can't let this wingman get away. Good tackle there by Nicole Coote. Goulding, now then, a chance for St Helens. McPhee decides to charge himself. Haig. Saints edging towards that line. Hammond looking for the centre, but of course Haig had gone in midfield.
St Helens have a problem with Paul Dewlove. He's taken a severe blow on the knee. Jeanette Smith's been looking at it. They're hoping that he'll recover and continue.
Goulding, that little kick again. Oh, and it's the same thing. Tommy Martin is in for a second. No need to tell you what he thinks. The expression on his face tells you everything, as he does on those young ladies. St Helens fans who are losing a little hope, but Tommy Martin brings it back to them, and it's the old 1-2 again. The Goulding rubber kick, the Martin pounce.
It's where once, let's try it again. Bobby Goulding puts the kick through the defensive line. Tommy Martin times his run to perfection and beats the defence to the ball.
It was great play here. This is a planned move. Tommy Martin was a mile back. He ran onto it flat out. He's seen that the defence come up again, and now is one try away from £10,000.
There's the kick through the defence. There's nothing the fullback or Peacock the centre could do about it.
And Goulding will certainly be wanting to collect these 2 points to make 1,000 points in his St Helens career, and that is it. Another milestone in the career of this Great Britain scrum half, Bobby Goulding. But I think with Saints coach Sean McRae, that just the 2 points, the conversion are enough. The Bradford Bulls 10, St Helens 10. We're in for another cracker.
Here we see again Bobby Goulding, lovely weighted kick, just crosses the line, and there's Tommy Martin, excellent timing to score.
Yeah, the 1-2, the same Bobby Goulding. The good part about that kick, Bobby took it right to the defensive line, made the defence commit themselves to Bobby and put the kick in behind for Tommy Martin.
It shows how important a mistake is. Paul Medley previously brought the ball up for Bradford Bulls, made the mistake losing the ball. Sullivan dropped on it, and straight away Saints level it.
Bradford then will want to keep this ball for 4 or 5 tackles. Will want to get back into that St Helens half, sending it there just to the first receiver. McNamara driving in, gets a good pass back to Lowe's. Oh, McDermott loses it, but backwards says Mr Cummings, not to the liking of the St Helens fans, but that doesn't matter as Bradley comes charging away down here in midfield. Back come the Bulls on the 5th tackle. To McNamara. It's a high one. Prescott's there again. Oh, and he takes it beautifully. Classical take. He leapt up in the air. His knees were brought up towards his chest. Protection. Good take.
Sonny Nicol was a bit lucky there. You're not allowed to tackle players now while they're up off the ground, and Prescott was certainly still in the air when Sonny Nicol tackled him.
Chris Joints. Cunningham. Good pass to Andy Haig. But again, good cover. Good tackling there from Paul Loughlin out wide. Back to Martin. Beats one man. Oh, Chris Joints having to take the kick, and it goes direct into touch. Well, that's good play from Bradford. They charged up quickly, put the pressure on the St Helens second row, and the kick direct into touch. Sean McRae will not be too happy with that, but I think Matthew Elliott, the Bradford coach, will.
This is the important part of this half. There's 9 minutes to go, and that's when both teams start to get a little bit tired after a hard battle.
McNamara.
And a possible problem for St Helens with another wounded player. In the last Bradford attack, Apollo Perellini took a bang in the leg. He got up limping and moving very awkwardly.
But it's Bradford moving well. Good dummy there. James Lowes. Bradley trying to power over himself from the 18 half-back position, but it's another 6. St Helens not straight at the play of the ball, quickly taken by Bradford. As Steve Sims said, the Bulls really taking these play of the balls very, very quickly, catching St Helens out. Another charge there from the 18 half-back, but good massed defence. Notice the defence there around the play of the ball. Very, very tight, very, very close. And now the defence moving in quickly out wide. Robbie Paul trapped there. Stuart Spruce being forced back inside. St Helens desperate not to concede another try here. A chance for Bradford. Bernard Dwyer, nice little slip pass. They've got an overlap here. Spruce to Peacock. He cuts inside. He must score. Oh, he dropped the ball. Oh, I think Peacock has dropped the ball. He has. Referee Stuart Cummins, a quick consultation with the in-goal touch judge Frank Hanley, and it's no try. Drama again here. Just look at this. Down he goes, and he loses it.
That was a great call from the referee's assistant in the in-goal area. He spotted that the ball was knocked out by a tackle from, I think, Sullivan.
It was a great tackle from Sullivan. I don't know whether Matthew Ellard will be too thrilled about that. They had a penalty nearly in front of the post and should have taken the 2 points.
You know, that tackle reminded me of John Pendlebury on Mark Elia in the St Helens Halifax final some years ago when he knocked the ball out of the player's hand. But
that was a tackle that saved the game.
Well, who knows, that one could. Oh, it was well attempted, but it's here again, this man Peacock. He's got support, but he loses it. Well, we're having a lot of lost ball, we're having a lot of handling errors, but all credit to these two sides. They are providing us with a spectacle. The ball is fairly zipping about this field.
Well, Danny Peacock never had control of the football to pass it. He should have had it in 2 hands to start off with, and then he should have offloaded then. Handling errors, Bradford 4, St Helens 3. The first half, I think there's probably been a little bit of nerves because most of them were in the first 10-12 minutes.
But both sides are looking to play an open game though, Joe, aren't they?
That's the kind of rugby they enjoy, and it's certainly the kind of rugby I enjoy watching.
Andy Haig had got a handful of games in the St Helens first side. Derek McVie was desperate to play in this final, hasn't played for 6 weeks with that ankle ligament damage. And Pick Evans warming up to come from the substitutes bench. Standard tactics by Saints coach Sean McRae. Cunningham putting pressure on there now. A beautiful ball to Haig. He's got Arnold out wide. Arnold cutting back inside to Goulding. Oh, beautiful flick. Forward pass, says Cummings. Haig saw that line beckoning. The youngster was ready to go. But all credit to Mr. Cummings. He's a PE master. He's fit. He'd got back.
It's the second pass that Hammond has pushed there and gone to the opposition.
Julian O'Neill just having a drink and a breather. I have a feeling we might see him back later. A cut there to the forehead. You think Joe Saints are pushing one pass too many?
I think possibly both teams are. They know that they can score from anywhere in the field, but they do have to control the ball a lot better.
Ian Pick Evans there in the tackle, coming on with Julian O'Neill. And the very important last 3 or 4 minutes in the first half. As we say, when the players are tiring, when they're looking for a rest at half-time, very often you see a try go in. Nickel. Trapped here in midfield. Good packed defence in the centre there. It'll be warm work, plenty of drinks out here at Wembley. They're really peppering press got with these kicks, but he's up to them. And he got the ball in front of the line, yes. He was desperate to get that, so that St Helens had the 6 tackles and not the dropout. Anthony Sullivan making a good run there down the right wing. McVie. Always looking to pass the ball, Yachty. Good pass there to Gooley. He's got Newland with him. But again, Peacock coming, cutting inside, taking the tackle well. Quick play the ball there from St Helens. To Hammond. Padolini. Wasn't quite looking to be running with his usual rhythm. Took a knock early on. Martin.
The second time St Helens have been on that area around the halfway mark and they've had a bad kicking game. First time they put it out in the full, that time they kicked it straight to Robbie Paul.
But if you're watching and thinking of going making a brew just before half-time, don't, because both these teams could score from anywhere.
They certainly have plenty of pace and power as this man, McDermott, former Eastmoor Amateurs lad, and Bradley. Good pass from Bradley, and good support play there from James Lowes. Good battle between these two hookers. Lowes selected for the Irish squad to play against France in a couple of weeks' time there in Paris. Oh, Little looking to try to get that ball away on the final tackle. Nikolku. Still play on, says Mr. Cummings. Medley tries a kick. Oh, Arnold plucks it out of the air beautifully. He gets the pass away to Haig. Now then, Haig's coming away downfield. Good cover. A minute and a half left in this first half. Can St Helens do something here? Goulding looked for support and the forwards were struggling. They're tiring now. Here's Chris Joyce. Looks to be a bad fall there on Stuart Spruce, it looks like. Goulding very keen to see Spruce back into action, played together as youngsters in the Widnes under 11 side here as a curtain raiser. Good friends. Chris Joyce. St Helens looking to pick up a few points here before that half-time hooter. Goulding to Hammond. McVeigh lurking there, coming again from that right-hand side. Hammond again. Hammond, is he going to go to the line himself? Hammond's going, oh, he's just held up. No, he's just over that line. He has the sheer strength of the man. Just look at those 3 forwards. McNamara, Medley and McDermott. And Carl Hammond wants a standoff. Now a 15.5 stone loose forward. Was no stopping him. In for a try in those vital seconds before half-time. 14-10 for the cup holders.
This try is just persistence and perseverance. He refused, Carl, to be pushed back. He wanted to score. He used every ounce of strength, gets the ball down on somebody's foot, then on the line.
Yeah, it's great play from Carl Hammond. He ends up with 5 defenders. 1, 2, 3. McNamara's going to come in to make it 4. Then you got another one there. I think it's McDermott 5, and he still scores the try.
Sheer persistence. He hit a Bradford Bull's foot, slid down, and picked up the points. Sean McRae already on his way down to the dressing rooms. He'll have plenty to say, will the former Canberra Raiders assistant coach. Now the successful St Helens coach is Goulding. picks up the extra 2 points with the conversion. Oh, and right on the stroke of half-time, Joe. What a time to score in a cup final.
Well, Steve, you'll know there's no more pleasing time to score than right on the half-time hooter to take you into the half-time interval in the lead.
Yeah, it's great. It's great feeling for the team. It's great for the coach, and he'll be in there now. Sean McRae saying
5 tries in 40 minutes. We had 13 tries in last season's memorable final, and I have a feeling we could be approaching that figure by the time the final whistle blows. St Helens recovered from a 26-12 scoreline after 56 minutes last year. Can Bradford recover from a 16-10 scoreline after only 40? Well, they're making a good start, and it's Stuart Spruce galloping away upfield. Oh, he had Robbie Paul with him. He elected to hold. Newlook picked him up well, but here's Robbie Paul now. Bradford started off a terrific pace, Steve.
they did, but it's the one thing Sean McRae said before half-time. They were slipping off too many one-on-one tackles, and that's the way they've started the second half.
James Lowes looks for Peacock again. Peacock having a good battle down there on that right wing with Newlove. Bradley to Paul. McNamara slows it down. I think he was looking for Robbie Paul to come round him there, Joe.
I think that was the idea. It was going to be a late run around where Robbie Paul came round McNamara and took the return pass.
Cook managed to elude the wingman there. It's Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer puts a little chip kick in. It's still loose. Picked up by St Helens. Danger there on the St Helens line. Prescott coming away with the ball, but it should be the forwards. They need 1 or 2 big runners coming there now, like this man Pedalini. Goulding spins it out wide to Martin. He's got Newlove with him. Oh, a risky pass again. St Helens lose possession. Newlove. Well, he's been lucky there. He's got the ball back on the head and ball. The referee's saying that there was a knock-on.
Very, very lucky Paul Newlove there to slip the ball to supporting player. It went to the ground and it was a little bit of a tussle on the floor, but it was very, very hard to see who made the first offence.
But really, Steve, he should never have passed it in the first place, should he?
He should have held on to it. They've started very shaky this second half, St Helens.
Well, this isn't shaky at all now then. This lad can run. Prescott, but he's got Robbie Paul tracking him across field. Oh, he beats him. 1 man, 2 man. Oh, he's just pushed into touch at the corner. What a magnificent run there from Prescott. He has pace oozing out of his boots, but Robbie Paul, watch him here. He tracked across and slowed him down. And tackled in the corner.
That was fantastic defence by Bradford. They'd started well in attack. Now it was their chance in defence. They ran back. It was Matt Callan that chased and just managed to get hold of Prescott, take him into touch in the corner.
And significantly, a fresh substitute, Matt Callan, coming on there, just had the legs to track Prescott down. Well, we said early in the game, Bradford had the size in the back, St Helens had the pace. Rihanna back on the field, had attention to that cut head. Sonny Nicol. It really is end-to-end this 1997 Silk Cut Challenge Cup final. Bradford on the attack now. Robbie Paul, a box of tricks in midfield, trying to get between the two there. Haig does well, picks him up there on the outside.
And one of the first half try scorers for Bradford Bulls, Paul Loughlin, is sitting on the bench behind Brian Noble, the assistant coach. Loughlin has strained his left calf muscle late in the first half there. He's not 100%, but Paul says he will be able to go back on if he's required to do so.
You notice Robbie Paul is injured in back play there, and it's going to be a blow for Bradford if he has to go off.
St Helens wanting just to hold possession here. Well, that was recommending they held possession, but they really are caught in danger. Robbie Paul in some trouble there with that leg. Still receiving attention, doesn't look too secure. They'll certainly want him to stay on the field. the midfield maestro in this Bradford side. It looks as if he's going to carry on. McVie. St Helens forwards, Steve, a little flat coming onto this ball.
They are flat, and they're trying to push things. They're playing like a team that's behind, not in front.
Be a scrum down there. We can see Robbie Paul just moving across the screen there. He's moving rather gingerly. Sean McRae doesn't look too happy at this stage. His team are winning 16 points to 10. But they take the game very seriously, these Aussie coaches. Paul Cook. And that's how seriously they take it. Robbie Paul. Bernard Dwyer. Well, Paul had to pass that ball. He looks in trouble with that leg.
He's limping, he's feeling it again. He is in a lot of trouble, I think.
Well, Rehan is in no trouble, neither is this man. McDermott relishes a battle up front. Had his haircut especially for the event, he tells me. McNamara. Oh, good burst by McNamara. Now that he's got Peacock outside him. Oh, and an ankle tap by Tommy Martin. Spoiled Peacock's try, but Bradford, will they still be in? It's not in Coke. He's held up on the line there by that man Hammond. Oh, a chance for the Bulls. And St Helens come away with the ball. Well, Steve.
Tremendous defence from St Helens there, Joe. It was desperate stuff, and they recovered really well.
That's scrambling defence at its best. Ankle taps, jersey pulls, anything to get back and stop the try.
The problem with Robbie Paul, the Bull skipper, is that somebody fell on his foot in a tackle. His foot is actually very painful. You can see that he's limping in a very pronounced way. They're hoping, of course, that he can stay on this pitch because Robbie Paul's essential to the pace in the Bulls' side.
He certainly is, Richard. Just as that man Goulding is essential to the kicking game of the St Helens team, and that is an excellent rubber kick, pushing Bradford back to that 10-metre line. And it looks as if Robbie Paul is leaving the pitch. I'm sure the physiotherapist will get to work on that leg. Plenty of treatment. They'll want to try to get him back on the field if they can, but if he cannot run, then really he puts his side at a disadvantage. Good half-back on the field in Glenn Tomlinson, former Batley player. Been in good form this season in the Bulls' charge to the top of the Super League. But offside against St Helens.
Joe, Bradford is still playing the ball very quick. St Helens have to try to slow them down a little bit.
That's right, it's a big plus for especially McDermott, the Bradford Bulls prop forward. It's almost at times a voluntary tackle. He hits the line, drops to his knees and plays it incredibly fast.
McCallan. Well, I think he was trying to put that ball between his legs, didn't quite manage it, and it's a knock-on. There we see the problem with Robbie Paul. It looks to be the foot.
You see here Tomlinson. Now puts the ball, he's actually trying to play it. He makes his tackle, quick play the ball, but he dropped the ball in the process.
Goulding at the base of the scrum. With Haig. Haig had a viral infection in the early part of the season. Kept him out of action for 6 or 7 weeks. Prescott gaining a little in confidence now, wanting to come up into the attack. He likes to run on attack, this pacey St Helens fullback. Perolini now on the charge. To Chris Morley, the substitute, number 24, coming on for Derek McVie. McVie been out of action for 5 weeks. A gamble by McRae in playing him. Chris Joint racing through. He's going for the line. Oh, a tremendous run there by the St Helens vice-captain. I was recommending the St Helens forwards to come on that ball from deep. There we see the perfect example from Chris Joint. His 52nd try for the club, and few, I think, more important than that one.
This time it's Tommy Martin, the playmaker, drops the inside ball to Chris Joynt, and he has got a tremendous pace for somebody with his size and power.
Tommy Martin having a superb game, scored 2 tries himself, pops up a nice little ball for Chris Joynt, who was absolutely powering onto that ball, busted the tackles, and you don't stop Chris Joynt that close to the line.
And there we see the sheer power of the man, right between the tackle and then the pace. They really are athletes, these modern rugby league forwards. Over the line, 4 points.
Just what Sean McRae would have wanted. They would have wanted to score first after half-time.
Bobby Goulding then looking for a third conversion. Oh, and the roars behind the post where all the 20,000 St Helens fans amassed. He thinks he's playing golf. He strikes it like a golfer. Head down, high in the air, between the uprights. 2 points.
Matthew Elliott now very, very important after we see this try from Chris Joynt once more. The pace and power to get to the line, but it's very important, as I was saying, for Bradford really to take the lead from Matthew Elliott, the coach on the sideline. He has now to get the message onto his players not to panic. They're without Robbie Paul. They've conceded a try just before half-time and one straight after, but they're really now have to knuckle down to the task in hand.
Well, we said, Steve, at the beginning of this half that St Helens had come back from a 14-point deficit. It can be done, can't it?
Yeah, there's Matthew there. He's not looking real happy. But as Joe said, he's got to take control now. He's got to get messages out to these players to stick at what they planned in the first place and help them in the first half. They've got to get back into this game.
And the game has certainly taken its toll on the St Helens forward, Derek McVie, the Australian. It's the first game he's played. He missed the last 6. And the heat, the pace of the game, the power of the game, he says he's absolutely exhausted.
Well, I was speaking to him this week and the lad was desperate to play. He was actually wrapping his ankle in comfrey leaves, or nip bone as they call it in St Helens, and going to bed with it every night, and it's worked. McNamara with a long kick and a little too long. And I think, Steve, somebody in this Bulls outfit, somebody like Steve McNamara now, with Robbie Paul gone off, has got to take a grip of this game. There we see Robbie Paul receiving attention, just looks to those bones on the instep there. Doesn't look as though he'd be coming back. The club doctor giving it some serious attention. But I think McNamara or Bradley have got to get a grip of this game.
They do, and McNamara just then, that kick was a poor kick. He put it in the in-goal area, back to the 22, where you've seen on the other side of the coin, Joe, Bobby Goulding put his kicks into touch, in the corner, put Bradford under pressure.
That's what happens when you're on the side that's winning. You can afford to think a little bit clearer, make the decisive kicks and the decisive runs.
Martin with a good kick. Oh, Anthony Sullivan! He's stolen a mark. Johnny Corku! Has he got it down? I think he has! Another consultation between Mr. Cummings and the in-goal judge. Further consultation with the touch judge over there. And Mr. Cummings is going to the spot, and he's given the try. Again, St Helens kicking policy paying off. This time, the low rubber kick to Anthony Sullivan, and they don't come much faster than that St Helens wing flyer. He nipped around the back of the Bradford defence. A little debate on the try, but it's been settled.
The little debate was the pass from Bobby Goulding. It looked forward, but I don't think there was much doubt here with Sullivan's speed to get to the line and get the pressure down. But I do think the pass from Bobby Goulding before the kick came in was forward. And also, looking at that on the slow replay, Ray, I would say that he didn't ground that ball.
He asked 2 touch judges about this. Probably they didn't have the what we've got, the instant replay, but there's definitely no try. That definitely no try.
Well, he certainly didn't put downward pressure on that. It was hit by the wrist, and the ball just went down of its own volition. So a lucky try there for St Helens, but this man will not be too bothered. Bobby Goulding, the St Helens skipper. He knows his team have got to run on, and so has he with the conversion. Another 2 points from the golden boots of Bobby Goulding. He passed that 1,000 mark in the St Helens colours earlier in the game, and he's well on the way now to number 2.
Yeah, Bobby Goulding, the old two-card trick. Last year he put all the high bombs up to them and they couldn't take them. This year he's put no bombs up, all along the ground. They've scored 3 tries off kicks and behind the defensive line.
And suddenly the game seeming to go away from the Bradford Bulls. A time then now for realignment, consolidation in midfield. And a man to take charge. James Lowes or McNamara. Bradley. And Andy Haig looks to have a bad shoulder there. But it's surprising how those injuries will recover tonight if the champagne corks are popping. James Lowes. He's been strangely quiet, Joe, around the play of the ball.
They have contained him very, very well, but what's been happening, Ray, is his forwards have been playing the ball fast, and basically he's just been servicing the rest of the team by passing it. He hasn't taken the defensive line on much himself.
McCallum didn't notice Mataltia, the substitute, coming in from behind, and Mataltia has also taken a knock. They're certainly going down here with injuries. Again, another strong Western Samoan. He looks to be in some pain. May have had a knock to the ribs, I think. And there we see Robbie Paul, desperate to get back into the frame. He'll not want to leave his side, will this Bradford captain? And what an inspiration that would be to the Bulls if he could come back in this final 20-odd minutes.
They'll have certainly tried everything to get Robbie back. I won't be surprised if he's had a painkiller injection into the foot, just to get him back on and put some influence back into this team, the Bradford team.
Panolini on the 5th tackle. Goulding again with that little chip kick, piling the pressure on Bradford. Ikoko goes back, rescues it well. Gets it to Dwyer. Dwyer, he's got Callan with him here. Thinks better of the pass. Good strong run there by the substitute number 20, Matt Callan. Graham Bradley also taking a knock. It's hard, it's tough, it's rough with this modern rugby league football. James Lowes. Lowes again, looking to play well down the blind side. Peacock, good pass to Bradley. Can Bradley get it away? No. He's given a forward pass. And he's also given a kick 10 metres further on for back chat. Well, one thing in rugby league, the players must not give the back chat to the referee, or you lose 10 metres.
The referee's never wrong. You can't argue with the referee, Joe. Graham Bradley's been around long enough, he should realise that.
And from the Bulls bench, Robbie Paul has passed a message up to the coach, Matthew Elliott, that he's ready to go back on. That was a couple of minutes ago. Matthew Elliott was delaying, although it looks as though now there's been some communication, and Robbie Paul's making his way towards the pitch.
But Cunningham, he's making his way towards that Bulls try line. 28 points to 10 for St Helens. They'll want to strike before Paul gets back on here with a chance of lifting the Yorkshireman. Hammond to Morley. There is Robbie Paul. He's trying to attract the attention of Mr Cummings. He wants to get on. Carl Hammond.
It's kick time again, Ray. Will it be the high one or the low one? Let's have a look.
And a penalty against St Helens there for not playing the ball correctly. Delaying.
What they do, they put the ball on the ground. Yours Carl Hammond puts it on the ground, and then he delayed it. He dummied to play it, and Stuart Cummings said that it's a penalty to Bradford.
So Robbie Paul now back onto the pitch. He's got just over 20 minutes to rescue this Challenge Cup final. If any man can do it, he can. Remember his hat-trick of tries in last year's final. Oh, a well-intended pass, just could not be taken by Bradley, but that was a clever play. If it had come off, Steve.
Yeah, if it had come off. Glenn Tomlinson, he tried to get round the back there, but Graham Bradley just couldn't take the pass, and they turned it possession over to St Helens once again.
Paul Cook coming off for the final 20 minutes. Bobby Goulding taking his time. Paul wanting to get into the game quickly. Just a slight drizzle coming down here now. We've had everything here in this centenary final. Real heat this morning when the sun was at its most intense. Cooler as cloud came over, and now a little rain. I don't think it will trouble these players. Goulding, good long pass out to Prescott. Prescott trying to make his way outside Peacock, couldn't do so. Carl Hammond. Pickavance. St Helens can play safety first rugby. Oh, that's a penalty. And it wouldn't surprise me if Bobby Goulding had a shot at goal.
It would shock me if he did anything else. 2 points here, added to the St Helens total.
Huge mountain to climb now. He gets his 2 points, and it's putting St Helens a little bit further in front.
St Helens supporters massed behind these posts here, singing, delighted. Over 20,000 of them travel down from the Merseyside. And I think we'll soon hear the strains of when the Saints go marching in, if this goal actually goes over that crossbar. Goulding steadying himself. No problem to the Saints skipper. Another 2 points for Goulding. And suddenly Bradford's task looking more difficult as the seconds tick down. Commanding lead there now for the Saints. I often feel that under this new rule, it's very unfortunate for the team that's just been scored against, Steve. You know, the attacking side kicks off, and then, you know, they're on the rack again.
They are. You know, it is tough on them. They're under pressure once again, Bradford. They've got to work the ball out of their own 22-metre area.
But Stuart Spruce trying his best to inject some life up there on attack for the Bulls. Bernard Dwyer. Robbie Paul looks to be okay now. Jinking something like his normal customary self there.
He's still feeling it. You see, he very gingerly got up. Then Robbie Paul is lifting his leg up. He's still feeling that foot.
James Lowe's trying that little chip kick himself. A kick and a chase now. Goulding and Lowe's. Goulding will probably get there. Oh, the ball's rolled loose. Bradford are there. It's a try in the corner there. Glenn Tomlinson surely got the touchdown. Perseverance from the Bulls. St Helens had the cover back, but the bounce beat them. And suddenly, Bradford have hope. 30 points to 14. The conversion attempt to come.
Clever little kick from James Lowe's here. Follows it through, puts it through again. Now Bobby Goulding gave a great chase there, put everything into it, just couldn't control the ball. And you'll see, here come the chasers. Right around, Glenn Tomlinson follows through. Great eyes on the ball, great try.
Yeah, the kick from Lowe's was in no man's land. Prescott couldn't reach it. Goulding did get back, but was unable to contain the ball. And then when it's bouncing around in the in-goal area, it's anybody's.
The tricky kick here now for Steve McNamara. But if this goes over the crossbar, and it does, straight between the posts, and suddenly there's a different perspective on this Silk Cut Challenge Cup final. The Bradford fans now have their turn to dance and wave the flags. There's a big difference, 30 points to 16, but a difference that's not insurmountable.
Yeah, James Lowe's very clever little kick. He couldn't pick it up, but he put the kick through again. Bobby Goulding just can't control the ball. Neither can Danny Arnold and Glenn Tomlinson. Look at the look on his face. Sheer determination.
15 minutes remaining. The destiny of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup still at stake. St Helens in control, but not in complete control. Bradford hitting back. Chris Morley. St Helens will want to play through this set of 6 now. Steady the game down.
And then use Bobby Goulding's kick, I'm sure, to turn the Bradford Bulls round again and pin them down in the corners.
Chris Joynes. Now then, here is a chance for Goulding, but no, they're going down that left-hand side with that grubber kick again. Oh, and Sullivan's there. The touchline will beat them both. He's quick, is that Welshman, Anthony Sullivan. Intelligent kicking there from St Helens.
Different player doing the kicking, same tactics though. Hammond this time drills the ball down the touchline side. If Sullivan can get there, there's the chance of a try. If not, the clock starts to tick down with the scrummage.
They certainly have a big advantage in that midfield triangle, Joe, with 3 kickers there, haven't they, with Hammond, Martin and Goulding.
It's a well-balanced, well-structured midfield.
St Helens pick up the ball, Chris Morley going for the line, it's a try, but the referee has stopped play, and I think quite sensibly, because the Bradford lad hit the floor there very, very dangerously around that neck area, and Mr. Cummings, I think, stopped play immediately. Certainly, St Helens, being the professionals that they are, they continued. Went for the try, but Ikoku, he looked to be in some damage. Thankfully, he's getting up there, and the physiotherapist can't stress enough that he must be right before he continues. It appears that he is. Well, he's given a penalty for a spear tackle. A penalty against St Helens for a spear tackle on Ikoku.
Tommy Martin, now he's got him for a trip. That's a fair tackle. That's a fair tackle. He's got his arms on him. He's on the top. It should have been. It was a great tackle and should have been a try.
Well, Morley continues. He goes for the try. It's a tackle, Steve. But in my day, they used to call the Cumbrian throw. In fact, I can remember a man who actually won the Lance Todd, Jerry Helm from Warrington. He was famous for that.
Yeah, that was a legal tackle. Definitely wasn't a trip.
But here at Bradford again, stalling back. Well, we can debate the tries, but it's the tries that are scored in the next 12 to 13 minutes that count. McNamara, picked up by St Helens. Well, an accidental offside, says Mr. Cummings. And Robbie Paul, well, I thought he was improving, but he's not. He really is struggling, is the Bradford skipper. But just one delicate pass from him, just one piece of brilliance can in fact pull a try out of the bag for the Bulls. McDermott. Really is difficult when Bradford are going into battle without the general. Nickel. And still putting the pressure on the Saints. McNamara, almost an interception, but a knockdown by Tommy Martin. And Matthew Elliott now coming down on the touchline for these final minutes.
You see Tommy Martin here just knocks the ball down. This is going to be a test of character for St Helens here. This will be the 3rd set of 6 in a row they've had to defend.
McNamara played his heart out there at the base of the scrum. Switched back inside to Stuart Spruce. Bradford now want to make good use of this sequence of 6. James Lowe's back to McDermott. Looks for support, can't get the ball away. St Helens defence had moved up very, very quickly. Robbie Paul now having a go on his own, forgetting that foot injury for a minute, but it's another penalty. Offside against St Helens. Another sequence of 6. Short pass now to McDermott. McDermott driving towards that line. Bradford hitting back here. Oh, he's just tackled short. I think Bradford would be advised to move this ball out wide. No! The short pass.
A lot of character there. As I said before, they needed to show something, St Helens, and they did. That was the 4th. After that penalty was the 4th time sets of 6 they'd had to defend in a row.
Although I think, Joe, Bradford would have gained more by moving it out to that right flank.
Yes, there's a little bit element of panic there, wasn't there, Ray? Instead of moving the ball out and getting it wider down the flanks, they chose to use the power option down the middle, and it failed.
But all praise to that St Helens defence. Just less than 10 minutes remaining. 30 points to 16 for the cup holders, St Helens. Edging towards the halfway line on the fit tackle. Goulding again. Pumps some of the ball down there. It's a long one, it's a good one. It sends Ikoku racing down. And Goulding saying, look, get up there to join. Get up there, lads. Nervous times for the fans.
Nothing better than this. You're watching there, Bobby Goulding, calm as anything. If you're a coach, if you're a player, you just feel so good now. Takes all the pressure off you. Scrum down the opposition's 10-metre mark, and they've got to run it out.
To Bradley, well spotted by Martin. He ran in, raced in very, very quickly. Stopped Bradley's momentum. To Lowe's. Appeals for a high tackle against Simon Knox there, but play on, says referee Cummings. What a battle it's been out there between Newlove and Peacock. And Ikoku. James Lowe's. Good dummy from Lowe's. Loses it. Well picked up there by Pickavance. St Helens will want to quick play the ball here. They'll want to get a roll of 6 going.
Still 8 minutes on the clock and time for any player on the pitch to influence the Lance Todd, the Man of the Match award. But I think it would have to be Bobby Goulding's influence on his kicking and Tommy Martin's tries. One of those two, I'm sure, will pick up the Lance Todd trophy.
I think Tommy Martin's had an outstanding game in attack and defence, and Tommy Martin's from Lee, and I'm sure that everybody there will be thrilled for him.
Well, I don't think Sean McRae, the Saints coach, will be too bothered about the Man of the Match as long as they take the cup. And there is Chris Morley. He's got support with Matautia. Oh, Matautia's going himself, but he's bounced the ball. I think a little lack of confidence there from the big Western Samoan. I think if he'd put his head back initially, he would have got over, but being unselfish, he tried to get the ball away. And in the final analysis, Bradford breathe again.
Yeah, Matautia, you'll see here, trying he's not got control of the ball, and right decision from Stuart Cummings.
McDermott. Less than 7 minutes remaining then. St Helens 13, Bradford 16. Bradford must score now very, very quickly. Paul beats one man, can't quite get away. Just not got that blistering pace that he normally has when he's fully fit. Well read there by one of many players in this St Helens team whose father were also rugby league players. Andy Nord, his father, Keith, Anthony Sullivan's, Clyde, all Newloves, Bobby Goulding's, almost like that Happy Families game. I don't know what you're laughing at, Steve.
I'm not sure what the Happy Families game is.
Oh, well, you're one of these Aussie coaches. as St Helens come roaring away. Paul Newlove, oh, he's just hauled down there, but tremendous cover from Sonny Nicol. Saints charging for the line, too eager, but referee Cummins has called a halt to the proceedings, and he's given a penalty to St Helens for offside. Now then, Goulding just having a little think. He's consulting with Stanwell. Reminds me of Julius Caesar. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous. They're all thinking, what is he going to do? I think I'd go for goal and waste the time, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
It's the only choice he had. I don't think Bobby Goulding had anything else in his mind other than going for goal, slowing the game down, giving his players a rest, and just winding the clock down a little bit.
Well, those St Helens fans are not bothered about the seconds ticking down. They can't wait for that final hooter. Less than 5 minutes remaining here. St Helens in with a chance of, for the first time in their history, winning 2 successive Wembley finals. Goulding then, 10 metres in from that touchline. He didn't strike it too well, but he gets it over the crossbar. Goulding adds another conversion. The St Helens fans dance on the terraces, a mass of red and white behind those posts, and Saints edge out even further. 32 points to 16. Goulding to restart. Good run there by Hikoku, and Matthew Elliott's not too happy, probably realises that it all looks to be up now. McNamara, one last effort from this loose forward to Bernard Dwyer. He loses the ball, but it goes behind him. Then Tomlinson to Simon Knox. Bradford looking to pick up another try. James Lowes, oh, and he gets there. Well earned. Number 25, James Lowes, picked up a try against Leeds in the semi-final. A loser twice with Leeds here in 94 and 95. And sadly, unless something dramatic happens here at Wembley, a loser again. But a try scorer at Wembley, he'll remember that. James Lowes, the Irish hooker.
James Lowes, one of the form hookers in the competition now. Again, determination gets in this try. He wants to get on the scoreboard. A little bit of a look up for support. Knows exactly what he's going to do. Shows the ball, uses the step and the spin. Just manages to get there.
And the goal. The flags are held upright. Mr. Molyneux runs back to the line. McDermott takes a glance at the clock. 32-22. 10 points remaining. Have we got time?
Yeah, St Helens defence just relaxes a little bit here. You see James Lowes, he's going to go through here. James Lowes gets the ball, picks it up. He's going to beat Andy Northey. Tommy Martin, he can't stop him. Goes to the ground, but he's still got enough momentum to get him over the line.
Well, we all get excited here at Wembley. Just over a minute remaining. 10 points the difference. And Tommy Martin, 2 tries, the Lance Todd Trophy winner. He joins previous St Helens players, Alan Prescott, Dick Huddard, Kel Coslett, George Nichols, Len Killeen and Jeff Pimlett. The 7th St Helens recipient of that award. Named in honour of Lance Todd, former New Zealand player and coach.
Just watch his half-back partner, Bobby Goulding, there give the signal. He put the number 6 up with his fingers. He said, this is it, we play 6 tackles and then we kick. Just slow the ball down. The cup, the Shield Cup Challenge Cup, the 100th one is ours.
Well, whatever the result here now, both sides played their part in making this centenary Challenge Cup final a memorable one. We've seen some spectacular tries and we've seen some hard-earned tries with plenty of graft and force near the line. And Goulding, the Saints skipper, always kept the St Helens team moving forward with those kicks.
They'll just try to keep the ball alive, Bradford. Now they've got nothing to lose. Just if they can score another try before full time, it'll be just a little bit extra for them.
Stuart Spruce moving in now to stoppage time. We just had a couple of injuries to Robbie Paul and one. Oh, and here's a chance again at Bradford. Tomlinson coming away, tried to get the pass away. He knew it was desperation stakes. And St Helens cover, racing back, pick up the ball.
As I said, nothing to lose, Bradford. They were moving the ball good. They have to try that. The game's over, but St Helens have won, but they give us a little bit of excitement in the last couple of minutes.
And who was back there to stop that pass being flicked out? Tommy Martin.
Outstanding Tommy Martin today, outstanding player.
Well, we saw a disappointed Matthew Elliott there, but what a season he's had in his first season. Unbeaten in the Super League, and would you believe it, these two sides play against each other at Odsal next weekend. I think they'll be queuing up from tomorrow morning. And Sean McRae, his second season at Knowsley Road, and his second Challenge Cup win. Picked up there by Bernard Dwyer. And there's the hooter! St Helens once again victorious. Bobby Goulding played a tremendous part in midfield. His kicking kept St Helens on the move. The youngster there, Andy Haig, I said they would forget their injuries. Andy appears to have forgotten that shoulder. Dean Busby, Joey Hayes, who may have been on this pitch but for a bad knee injury, and a look of exasperation there from Abby Ikoku. Stuart Spruce, and a good effort from Danny Peacock. Andy Northey just managed to get on there in those final minutes. 32-22, a 10-point difference this time. Bernard Dwyer. Carl Hammond again, whose kicking game did so much to keep St Helens on the move. Chris Joyce, that try down the left. Anthony Sullivan, another try scorer. And Robbie Paul, there we are, nursing that foot. How tender it must be, and how frustrating it must be for an athlete and a player so talented to be cut down like that halfway through a game.
Tommy Martin, man of the match, Lance Todd Trophy winner. Congratulations, Tommy. What is it between you and Bobby Goulding, fiddling a couple of tries like that?
Well, that's it, you know, we went really well together. It's just a case of if I can tell him where for football, then he knows that I'll be on the end of it.
But it wasn't safe even after Chris Joyce scored the try, was it?
Oh, nowhere near. Bradford are a class outfit and they've proved that. The way they come back after Wembley last year and give us a flogging. This year, they expected a really tough game, and I just hope that it was a good game for the spectators.
Were you dissatisfied with your first half performance?
No, we weren't. We were quite satisfied, really, you know. To go up in such a lead as early as that, we was absolutely delighted. And the boys went extra time on defence in the second half and it come up trumps.
On course for 3 in a row, Tommy?
Oh, well, we'll see. I just say hello to Liverpool and all the boys back home, 1-4-3.
Thanks, Tommy.
And I think those scenes there between the players just show the spirit that this match has been played in. Liam Matautia and Apollo Perolini just having a quiet word. Two dignified Western Samoans. And the winners of the 1997 Silk Cup Challenge Cup to be presented by John Prescott, the new Deputy Prime Minister. This 36-inch silver trophy presented 100 years ago to the Backley captain John Goodall. Goulding just waiting for the players. And I think there's going to be a nice gesture here by the Saints skipper. Bobby Goulding, who only played 40 minutes in previous rounds, is allowing Chris Joynt, the Saints vice-captain and the man who led them in the earlier 3 rounds, to lift that trophy. Chris Joynt, what a wonderful gesture from the St Helens skipper. Much appreciated by those St Helens fans. Ian Pickavance, Anthony Sullivan, his father won 2 medals and now so has Anthony. Paul Newlove, another one whose father collected a winner's medal over Bradford back in '73. Andy Haig only came into the side this morning. Steve Prescott, Julian O'Neill from the Auckland Warriors, a cup winner's medal in his first season. And Paul Newlove says yes. Andy Northey and Carl Hammond. Hold that, says Carl Hammond. And the Lance Todd Trophy winner, Tommy Martin, who was on the end of those 2 delicate grubber kicks from Bobby Goulding. Danny Arnold. Apollo Perolini. And getting McVie, who 2 or 3 weeks ago hardly believed that he would be here at Wembley. He was resigned to watching from the terraces, but he played his part, as did Veer Matautia. Eric Ashton just having a word with Perolini. Maurice Lindsay, the Chief Executive of the Rugby League, congratulating Bobby Goulding. Sir Rodney Walker. And a kiss from Doreen Ashton, Mrs Ashton. She's delighted. And so is Bobby Goulding. His 4th Cup winners' medal. And a first for Derek McVie. The big Aussie, he wants a hold of that cup. St Helens, their 7th Cup win, and all at Wembley. Retained the trophy for the first time in their history. And a great round of applause for the Bradford Bulls. They played their part, none more so than this lad, handicapped in that second half. Robbie Paul, the Kiwi, the Lance Todd Trophy winner last year, collects his loser's medal. And Paul Loughlin there behind him, I hardly dare remind him, his 5th loser's medal. Sympathy all round for the big Bradford Bulls centre. James Lowes and Sonny Nichol. Steve McNamara, what a good game he had at loose forward. Rihanna. Well, Danny Peacock could still manage a smile. Obi Ikoku thankfully recovered from that awkward tackle. Paul Cook. And last but not least, Brian McDermott, the prop forward.
Congratulations, Bobby. It's kicking again, really, isn't it, like last year?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Bradford said that they'd defuse every bomb, what one of them. Who said we were doing bombs, we'll put them across the field if they can take them up high.
Were you happy with your first half performance? It looked a bit scratchy at times.
A bit scratchy at times, no, we made too many mistakes. Last year we made 5 mistakes in the whole game. We've done that in the first half, so we had to make up for in the second half. Absolutely delighted. You know, Bradford have gone on and they've said they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Talk's cheap. This is where the action goes.
Well done, Bobby. Congratulations.
Well, we are the champions. Rings around the ground.
And Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, victorious again. Sean, there must have been times when you were biting your nails if you do that sort of thing.
Well, I think every minute of that was just a game that I thought could have gone either way. I don't think we were particularly the best side in the first half. I thought we were lucky to go in leading 16-10. But I thought we showed the second half the qualities of a champion side. We had something to defend, we wanted to defend it, and we've defended it. So I can't be any more happy than that.
I mean, sometimes Bradford did you some favours. They put some balls down in important positions.
Well, that may have been to some pressure as well. I mean, part of our game plan was to force some turnovers with some good defensive patterns, and I thought at times they paid off. I thought at times we were poor defensively, so one evens out the other, but with the football in our hands, I thought we dominated pretty well.
A bit of telepathy between Tommy Martin and Bobby Goulding as well.
Well, a great combination. We probably missed that last year when we won. Tommy was out with a knee reconstruction, only played 5 minutes here. And, you know, Tommy's probably the best standoff in the game at the moment. Bobby owed us plenty. He had plenty of weeks out to think about it, and he's repaid us now.
Congratulations, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yes, and Helens